Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy. So you can subscribe to it if you are preparing for UPSC or for state PCS examinations. Now let's start. So the first question is, which institution is to set up a new umbrella entity for retail payments? So it is RBI. So now two things are clear. First, RBI is the regulatory body for retail payments, and RBI is going to set up new umbrella entity for this purpose. And this entity will have minimum paid up capital of 500 crore rupees. And it will be set up and operate the payment systems such as ATMs, white label POS, that is point of sale, and Aadhaar based payment systems. Now RBI was also in news because of PIDF, that is Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. RBI was also in news because of Operation Twist. Recently, RBI was in news because of Monetary Policy Committee. This Monetary Policy Committee is headed by RBI Governor, and it is a 6-member committee, and out of which 3 are appointed by government and 3 are from RBI. Which state announced to reserve all government jobs to the people belonging to that state? So it is Madhya Pradesh. The Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh is Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So he announced that all the state government jobs will be reserved for the people belonging to the state of Madhya Pradesh. And if this will be implemented, this is going to be the first such state. Now, the state of Madhya Pradesh was also in news because of Rozgar Setu scheme. It was also in news because of Roko Toko campaign. It was also in news because of Intezar Aapka campaign. So this Intezar Aapka campaign is a campaign by the Tourism Department of Madhya Pradesh to promote tourism in the state. Recently, Madhya Pradesh was in news as Anandiben Patel was appointed as the new governor of Madhya Pradesh. Previous governor was Lalji Tandon, and he passed away recently. Apart from that, recently Satyapal Malik, who was governor of Goa, is now governor of Meghalaya. And Maharashtra governor Bhagat Singh Koshari was given the additional charge of Goa. On the other hand, the previous lieutenant governor of Jammu and Kashmir was G.C. Murmu, and now he has been appointed as the new CAG. On the other hand, Manoj Sinha has been appointed as new LG of Jammu and Kashmir. Next question is, which organization released National Cancer Registry Program Report 2020? So this was released by ICMR, that is Indian Council of Medical Research. And ICMR has released this report in association with NCDIR. What is NCDIR? It is National Center for Disease Informatics and Research. So this National Cancer Registry Program is an initiative of ICMR, and it is overseen by National Center for Disease Informatics and Research, and this is in Bengaluru. Now, as per this report, the cancer cases in India could increase by 12% in the next 5 years. Next question is, PBOC has acquired a stake in which Indian private sector bank? So it is ICICI Bank. What is PBOC? It is People's Bank of China. Previously, it had acquired stakes in HDFC. Now, ICICI Bank was also in news as recently Swiggy, the food aggregating platform, partnered with ICICI Bank for digital wallet. Apart from that, ICICI Housing Finance launched Saral scheme for affordable housing loans. So Swiggy is a food aggregating platform. Recently, another food aggregating platform was in news, and it is Zomato. And Zomato recently acquired Uber Eats. So all three are food aggregating platforms, and recently Zomato acquired Uber Eats. So now Uber Eats is a part of Zomato. Zomato was also in news because of its period leave policy. So recently this policy was in news. Next question is, which organization is deploying Ninja UAV for surveillance purpose? So this is RPF, that is Railway Protection Force. This RPF is part of Ministry of Railways. That means it is under Ministry of Railways. And these Ninja UAV will be used for monitoring and surveillance purpose. Now, the Director General of RPF is Arun Kumar. Recently, he was in news as he has been nominated as the Vice Chairperson of International Union of Railways. And it is a Paris-based organization. Paris is in France, and recently France was in news because of Rafale France was also in news as India is going to procure Hammer missiles from France. Which is the second Indian zoo to have African hunting cheetahs? So Mysuru Zoo is going to be the second one. First is Hyderabad Zoo, and this was done under Animal Exchange Program. Now, if we talk about zoo, we have CZA, that is Central Zoo Authority. Now, it is a statutory authority and it has been constituted as per the provisions of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. In fact, the NTCA, that is National Tiger Conservation Authority, is also constituted as per this act. National Board of Wildlife is also constituted as per this act. Answer in comment box who is the chairperson of National Board of Wildlife. Now coming back to this Central Zoo Authority, so it is chaired by Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and it has been constituted as per the section 38A of this Wildlife Protection Act. So all the zoo in our country need to take permission from the Central Zoo Authority. Next question is Ibrahim Boubacar Keita, who has resigned recently, was the president of which country? Right answer is Mali. So the political situation in Mali is deteriorating, and after the military rebellion, the president of Mali has stepped down. Next question is, what is the expansion of NRA that has been approved by the cabinet for conducting common entrance examinations? So this NRA stands for National Recruitment Agency, and this NRA was recently approved by the cabinet, and it is going to conduct CET, that is Common Entrance Test. So this CET will be conducted for various non-gazetted vacancies, and then the mains examination will be conducted by the different specialized agencies. So prelims will be through the CET. Now a detailed video on this topic has already been uploaded. You can check that from the description of this video, or in the end of this video you will get a pop-up. You can check it from there. Next question is, which state or union territory has recently given approval for the construction of skyscrapers with 70 or more floors? So this was decided by Gujarat government, that high-rise buildings of 70 floors or more were allowed in 5 major cities, and these 5 cities are Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Surat, Rajkot and Gandhinagar. Now, as per the present rule, the construction of the building is allowed up to only 23 floors. But now, after this government approval, up to 70 floors or more can be constructed in these 5 cities. Now, Gujarat was also in news as recently MPEDA, that is Marine Products Export Development Authority, started a quality control laboratory, that is QCL, in Porbandar in Gujarat. Gujarat was also in news because of its new industrial policy. Andhra Pradesh was also in news because of its new industrial policy. Next question is, Death Valley, which was in news recently, is in which country? So it is in USA. Recently it was in news because it recorded the highest temperature, and it recorded the temperature of 54.4 degrees Celsius, and that's why it was in news. So this is highest since 1913. In 1913 it was 56.7 degrees Celsius. Next question is, which organization along with ILO released the report tackling the COVID-19 youth employment crisis in Asia and the Pacific? So it is ADB, that is Asian Development Bank. So both these organizations released this report, and as per that report, approximately 41 lakh people in our country lost their jobs because of COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Asian Development Bank was also in news as it approved loan for Delhi Meerut Regional Rapid Transit System. Asian Development Bank was also in news as Ashok Lavasa, the election commissioner, resigned recently, and now he is going to join Asian Development Bank as Vice President. Next question is, what is the name of challenge that is launched by India to promote indigenous microprocessor manufacturing? So the name of this challenge is Swadeshi Microprocessor Challenge. And as for this challenge, 100 shortlisted companies will be given grant to build their prototype, and the 25 finalists will win 1 crore rupee each. And these companies will get support from MEITY, that is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Present Minister is Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. His constituency is Patna Sahib. Next question is, Stelite Copper, which is in news recently, is associated with which state? So it is related to Tamil Nadu, and this was in news because the High Court of Madras has rejected the reopening of this Stelite Copper smelting plant, and this plant is in Tuticorin and it is in Tamil Nadu. Now the Stelite Copper is a unit of Vedanta Limited. It is important to note that because of the pollution issues, this plant was closed, and now when the company approached Madras High Court, the High Court rejected the petition of this company to reopen the plant. So this was the entire issue. Now one important thing is that in 2011, Supreme Court ordered the NEERI to inspect this plant. What is NEERI? It is National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, and this research institute found that there are high level of copper, lead, cadmium and fluoride in the groundwater in the area because of this plant. So that's why there were a lot of environmental issues associated with the functioning of this plant, and therefore the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board along with Tamil Nadu government ordered that this plant should be closed. Now Tamil Nadu was also in news as recently WHO Chief Scientist Dr. Soumya Swaminathan was awarded with the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's Special Award for her role in combating the COVID-19 pandemic in the state of Tamil Nadu. Next question is, which Indian cricketer has been recommended for the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award? So right answer is Rohit Sharma. Now few other events related to cricket recently. Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Suresh Raina announced their retirement. IPL is going to be in UAE. Dream 11 is going to be the sponsor partner for BCCI for this IPL 2020. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news. Feel free to skip it at your own risk if you do not like the format. So first news is related to Flipkart and IIT Patna. So a memorandum of understanding was signed between Flipkart and IIT Patna, and this will encourage the industry-focused applied research. So this MOU was signed for research purpose. That means industry-specific research purpose. Next is loan against securities. So this is an initiative of Yes Bank, and as per this initiative, it will enable customers to get the loan facility against the securities that they hold. Of course, the customers need not to sell these securities and they just need to use them as collateral. Next is Angela Buxton, and she was British tennis player and she passed away recently. Next is LVB Dizigo. So it is an initiative by Lakshmi Vilas Bank and it is instant account facility. You can open your account instantly through this facility of Lakshmi Vilas Bank. Next is 5 commemorative postage stamps. So recently India Post released 5 commemorative postage stamps on the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India. So these 5 sites are Historic City of Ahmedabad, Churches of Goa, Group of Monuments at Pattadkal, Khajuraho Monuments and Qutub Minar. So these postage stamps were issued by India Post. Next event is Labour Bureau. So recently Labour Bureau launched its new official logo, and this was launched by Minister Santosh Gangwar, and this logo has 3 key goals. That means it displays 3 goals, and these 3 goals are accuracy, validity and reliability. Next is core investment companies. So CIC were in news because RBI announced stricter guidelines for these companies, and these guidelines were issued on the recommendation of a panel, and that panel was headed by Tapan Ray. So on the basis of recommendation of Tapan Ray panel, RBI issued these new guidelines for core investment companies. Now the core investment companies with assets over 5,000 crore rupees will have to appoint CRO. What is CRO? It is Chief Risk Officer. Next is Economic Explosives Limited. So recently EEL, that is Economic Explosives Limited, was in news as the first ever Pinaka rocket, which was fully manufactured by the private sector company EEL, was successfully test fired. So this is a good news for Make in India program. Next is Tri-Food project. So this was launched by Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and this will be implemented by TriFed in association with Ministry of Food Processing and Industries. So this Tri-Food project has been launched in Raigad district of Maharashtra and Jagdalpur district of Chhattisgarh. Next is India Tomorrow, and the full title is India Tomorrow: Conversations with the Next Generation of Political Leaders. So this book is authored by Pradeep Chibbar and Harsh Shah. Next is Millennium Alliance. So this is initiative of multiple agencies and it is a public-private partnership. And DST, that is Department of Science and Technology, USAID, FICCI, all these organizations are part of this Millennium Alliance. Next is contempt of court. So recently this was in news because of Prashant Bhushan case. I have already uploaded a detailed video on this topic on Civils Academy channel. So recently Prashant Bhushan was found guilty by the court. So that's why this was in news. Next is Lingaraj Temple. So this temple is in Odisha and it was in news because the state government decided to give it a facelift. That means to maintain it and to upgrade it. So this temple is built in red sandstone and it is a classic example of Kaling style of architecture. Next is NPCI, International Payments Limited. So recently NPCI launched its subsidiary firm and it is International Payments Limited. And Ritesh Shukla is going to be its CEO. Next is Kormo app. So this is an app by Google and it is employment application. That means it will show different employment opportunities. Next is World Photography Day. So this was on 19th of August. Apart from that, 19th of August was also celebrated as World Humanitarian Day. Next is Sadbhavna Divas. So this was on 20th of August and it is the birth anniversary of our former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Apart from that, 20th of August is also celebrated as Indian Akshay Urja Day. 20th of August is also observed as World Mosquito Day. So these were the most important questions and events of today's video. Now please read about these terms. First is vaccine nationalism. Second is please read about this contempt of court issue. So that was all for the day. Thank you.